Hello and welcome. You'll be glad to know that this is the very last chapter in my paper series, so enjoy! Today we're starting with watercolour paper.
These are the papers that should take this best. Should, I hasten to say. Because these are the watercolour boys. So, theoretically, at least, theoretically, they should be the ones that take the watercolour and look best in watercolour. So we start with our yellow boys. As you can see, the watercolour sits nicely on there. I'm not sure that's any better than the mixed media paper as yet, but we shall see, because this stuff is a lot thicker than the mixed media. So this one's a 300 DSM one. So we shall see as we go along how much it buckles and cockles alive, oh. Let's see. Alive. See, that looks much more stereotypical watercolour there. Because the other thing with watercolour is that you should be able to put water on first and get some interesting blending techniques. So I'm going to try and do that a little bit at least for each of these. Oh.
Don't put the blue on next, put the red on next.
You see, they're reaching out to each other there. A little bit of blue on the end there. When I'm doing nothing wasn't on a flat surface. Craziness. The craziness, I tell you. To be fair, I quite often am not on a flat surface. But that's just not. Just. Flip. I keep forgetting how short my speaker cable. Speaker cable? Not speaker cable. My headphone cable. I need a longer one. I need it to be longer. Lovely. So sad. And we have tube. Tube is just like hello. Hello. I'm just impressed by the yellow here. Tube. Spread that out a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more of a watercolour sensation. Moist. A little bit of blue for this one. With the pans underneath. Some water. Yeah, if you're going to do this, always use clean water, because otherwise it just goes muddy and gross. Unless that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for it to look muddy and gross, then that's knock yourself out. That's the only problem with it, of course, because you can't see it. Because it's clear. Colour on there to make a mix a bit of just plain water in there. Make the mix a bit more. Encourage the mixing. Encourage it. The husband loves it. Now time for the acrylic ones. Now I quite often use acrylic on watercolour paper for the reason, well, as I said earlier actually, it's, you can use acrylic in a watercolour manner and then put thicker colour on top. As you can see, the cockling is nowhere near as bad, even with the mixed media paper. The mixed media paper, when I started doing it, so humping up like that. Whereas this one, not so much, which is nice. I'm not going fast enough. Starting the acrylics are starting to dry out a bit. I hate that when that happens. Sometimes if you catch them quickly enough, you can just peel off the surface bit and you've still got wet paint underneath. Which is nice. Slightly thicker paint. Do you want me to test see if I can do the other one? Or should I just get on with it? I think I'll just get on with the watercolour thing. Yeah, definitely does the job. Of course, with the rough, because this one is a not. Well, it's not hot pressed. It's cold pressed paper. This one. It's got a little bit of texture on it, so the pens tend to sit on top of the texture, unless you sort of grind them in, but don't have them. You'll just ruin your pens. You see? As I say, I'm not really sure if these are like proper made from watercolours, these pens, or whether they're just soluble inks. They advertise themselves as watercolour pens, so I know, fairly cheap. That's nice. I can leave that because they're still, you see where they're. Yeah, it's very close. Ish. Maybe. Anyway. Fingers crossed. Right. And now we've got the HahneMühle, and however that is pronounced. So this is the hot press one, so this is flatty flat. So you shouldn't get any texture at all when I put colour on this one, apart from the texture of the way the colour sits itself. So it won't go like grainy or anything. It shouldn't go grainy. So it's a fairly flat colour. I'm going to put a little bit of a grade in there. So put in that one. Don't put it in that one, that's the clean more deep. Crazy. Pretty. Right. Dirty. So that's basically where I was doing the lines up there. Should be even out in it. This on the floor. Look. Pretty. Again, those lines are where I've just gone. They should even out shortly. And the red ones are pretty much evened out now. Simple goodness. Simple people. Okay. And it's simple people. Which one's simple? I think this one is kind of planned as well. I'm not sure if I'm using it. It's really good. You start seeing that. Okay. And a little bit red, obviously. And a bit of blue. A little bit of blue in your shoe. Blue in your shoe. The blue's going to take all the red there. Oh. Much like the last touch. Don't be blissful, man. You know the rules. You can see it spreading out here. Where it's wet and the paper just like fun. And it's starburst, no pretty flowers and stuff that way. Quick, cheap way of making it. Choose everything. And the blue for you. I like when it goes all big and lumpy. Oh, just a little line of blending. Well, this one wants to do this bit. A little more, so a little bit of blue as well. Not much in red. And that's white. The yellow's gone a bit. And it's starting to dry at the bottom, which is nice. Makes it easy to work because then you wait for layers of watercolour to dry. So I have no patience. That's why it's not one of my favourites to use. Oh, try again. Brains. Use the brain. I don't know what's happening. It's not going to look. Working that way. Okay. Stage. Let's style up. Now it's back to the stop it. Yeah. This now is so smooth, it feels so nice. Of course, I'll show you how it feels, but just trust me, this is so silky and soft and smooth, and other words that can look sexy, sensual, sensuous, sensual, not sexual, actively, just it feels it's a pleasant sensation. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Jesus. Especially as I have to shoot it. So, jeez. Putting that walking blue again. Oh no, I must. No. Keep doing that. No, there's that. Ludicrous. Breakfast. It does have to try themselves like the other. So I imagine I've done that properly with light and actually decent amount and I'll put a paint in there. Just pretend, let's pretend. Oh, feels so good. So really, that is just ridiculous, isn't it? Just nice. I'll wash out the brushes. And then it's blue or something. Maybe a bit of blue in there. I don't know where I don't know. Maybe just make it blue. Oh my gosh, this look. You can see how nicely that goes down. It's just smooch, 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 smooch. Smooch, 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 smooch. Smooch, 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 smooch. So it's just blending so nicely. Look at that. Let's shovel that. Shovel it. Okay. Plus, it's very unlikely that anyone would recognise anything at home. So you know, it's one. Hopefully. So it's as you can see, it's curved a little bit. There's not actually that much coffee on the things themselves, so the paper is curved in general. But it's not like it's gone ripply throughout. I mean, obviously it's got to dry a bit more. You can see there's a bit still wet on this one. Before I make a mess, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to show you. I'll show you the finished ones later. If I remember, there's probably the better thing to say on that one. Nice, there it is. Delicious. Okay, that's fairly simple. Right, I'm just going to stick a little titty bit of each of these on here because I'm nearly done. Right. I'm just going to stick a little bit of these ones on here, just so we don't run out, but only a teeny tiny bit because I've only got one thing left and it's the weird thing. If you see my other comparing videos, then you'll know. Well, if you've seen the last of the other set, the dry media, you'll know what it is. If you haven't, go and watch it. There's plenty of random waffling from me, and you know, unnecessary anecdotal stuff, and in fact, if anything, I'd say I talk more in the other ones because I'm introducing to you all the stuff from scratch. Whereas this time, I'm going to rely on, if you want the information, you'll probably go and watch some of the other videos. Or at least scan through them. Have a try. They're not awful. In general. So this one is not paper at all. Which is kind of cheap, but just for completeness and just because I found it when I was looking for papers, and I'm never going to use it for anything else because it's just not. Well, I suppose I could use it for other stuff, but I'm unlikely to use it because it's not the sort of thing I like using. So this is prime canvas pad. So basically, you buy a pad of paper. Like you buy a pad of paper, you buy a pad of this pre-primed. You know, it's good. It's been gessoed and what have you. Yeah, so that's it really. It is what it says it is. Although that looks like a sword, but it's not. It's quite all. My R's and my V's sometimes get a bit confused shape-wise. Mainly because people get upset when they do French R's and they can't read them. So when I'm doing block letters, I tend to do R's, but I tend to look more like V's because that's just the way I am. Trouble at mill. Trouble generally. Stop. So there's two words for us to say. No, don't take me. Not like I earn anything to lose anyway. But yeah, I'm relying on you guys. If I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to take you out and introduce you to the town. And to myself, if you're really unlucky. Okay, so yellow. So this is canvas pad, which is designed more for acrylics and oil paints, so I'm not expecting an awful lot with watercolours, I have to say, because it's got no absorbency, or it's got very little absorbency, I should say. So the watercolours will sort of sit on top, which ever it's dry. but that's fine. We got time. So the magical powers of video, which means that what may be hours to me will be mere moments to you guys. It's just this obsessed. Oh, why did I decide to do this? Well, it feels weird. It looks weird. I mean, I don't mind using canvas. I've often used canvas. I often use canvas. Sometimes I use unfined canvas, but generally only when I'm going for sort of abstract expressionist type thing. Bit of Frankenthal. Never remember this one. I want to say Barbara, but I'm sure that's fine. Terrible names. And of course there's Lee Krasner as well. But anyway, so that's watercolour pans on canvas, so don't use this. You get a little bit of ash, take it all. Those shuts, take it all. There you go, yellow. The tube. And the only reason that sits on there is because it's a bit thicker. It's sort of getting caught in the let's say that again. It's getting caught on the weave of the canvas. So it'll be like little pockets. You'll probably spread out a little bit as well, so you'll end up with like a sort of weird crisscross pattern. I didn't need to do that part, but I can do blue first. Same with blue. I just picked up all of the blue and just went blah, 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 blah. Put that bad one. Might as well use it up. I've got it. I'll use it up. Oh, that blue stains the brush so much. It's horrible. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. On you, red. Oh, the red bubble that was. The bubble of red paint, I mean, not like, you know. Oh my god, it's making. Oh yeah, it doesn't like that. Turn these back on. Oh, that really doesn't like that, does it? It's basically making a very fine hatching pattern, which of course then makes a horrible interference pattern on the video. That's attractive. Oh, this approves. Okay, let's do the acrylics. So maybe the acrylics will come out better because they'll actually stick on here. Alright, so let's pick up this bad boy yellow. Let's see what we got. There we go. That's not making weird. Is it? A little bit. But that's only because I've just done it really runny. Okay, is that one? Hopefully. Let's get some more up. Oh, the water. What's the trick? Take the water out so it's not so runny. Right, okay, and then we've got a big, nice splodge of red. We just got four like that. Look at that red. I love it. It looks so weird on the camera. It's such a nice sort of bluey red. You'll find that if you can find colours, like 3 primary colours that have similar tones to them, so you know, if you're going to have a red, you'll find that some yellows have a slightly reddy tinge and some blues have a slightly reddy tinge, or you'll find others that have a bluey tinge. You know, you'll find reds with a bluey tinge and yellows with a bluey tinge, and blues with a sort of slightly yellowy tinge tend to go better together than the ones where how am I saying? So you get blue and red with yellow tinge. You should go with quite an acidic yellow if you want to mix into nice secondary colours, and reds with a bluey tinge and yellows with a slightly warmer tinge. So rather than lemon yellow, use like a cadmium yellow. mixed together well. You sometimes get what's that? Right. What I'm saying basically is this something that feels the same sort of type of colour. It tends to mix together better. So, but if you, for example, if I mix the red and this red and yellow together, it's not going to be as nice a mixture as if I got the cadmium yellow and did it. It won't be as warm an orange. It'll be a slightly acidic orange. Or it might even be a slightly muddy orange. That's the annoying thing. Because this crimson has more blue, bluer pigmentation. So basically, if you've got warm yellow, mix it with warm red and warm blue. You've got cool yellow, mix it with a cool red and a cool blue. And once you start doing these things, you'll figure out which is which as well. So as I say, this is, I'd say, the cool yellow, because it's not got that orangey tone. It's got more, well, it's lemon yellow. It's a lemony tone. It's very lemony. Oh boy, look at that. It does not want to stick on here. You have the same problem if you use these sort of things with rough paper as well. So if you're using watercolour paper that says rough on it, it will have an awful lot of texture on it, and it will be harder for these ones. I mean, they're not too bad, but it will be harder for them to actually. So yeah, really hard. I'm not grinding it in, but it is quite tricky to get the colours to lay down quite well. Be very patient. And as we've established, I am not massively patient. I mean, I'm doing this, and it's going to take longer than you would like. Haha. Because I'm mean. But it is not. See, this is sort of yellowy red. I mean, this red and this red are not the same. That's more of an orangey red, so closer to vermilion. I don't particularly like vermilion. That's just me. I'm troublesome or something. And the blue, lastly, but not leastly, just so you can see. Yeah, if you're doing like acrylic sketching or oil sketching or anything like that, this stuff's quite handy to have. But if you don't do much of that sort of thing, it's more sort of people buy you that sort of stuff because they think you're like, oh, what should I buy them? What haven't they got? And you're like, oh no, please buy me more of what I have got. Don't buy me something I don't have, or buy me something that's a fancier version of what I do have. That's what I like. I like when people buy me a fancy version of whatever it is I have. Oh, yeah, so it's a look. As you can see, it's not really bringing out the best of the colours in these. So if I show you, if I can get the watercolours without making a watercolour paper, without making a complete pixie with it. So can you see the difference in colour? So you got, let me just see if I can get this a bit closer so you can actually see a bit better. Right, so I've got this one. Can you see a nice, quite a rich variation of tones and shades and mixtures of colours there. I don't know what's happening here. It's just, we'll ignore that. Rather than them. Yeah, so you've got a nice mixture of tones and shades there. But even within just the plain colours, you've got a lot, and like some really nice patination and stuff. Right, once again with the Renegade Master. Okay, so right, so that was a bit exciting. The other half came in, and I managed to spill my dirty water over it. which is always fun. My fault I didn't have the sock of recording on the doorknob. You know, other people put socks on the doorknob so they can have illicit liaisons. I do it so I can have 10 minutes peace and quiet. She says, being salty as ever. Right, so as I was saying, so you've got the different sort of tones and what have you. That wasn't particularly good, but that's because I got a load of dry lumps when I was doing that one. In the watercolour papers, whereas if you on this, it kind of works, but unless you're doing sort of something that's absolutely mixed media, I mean, you've got a little bit of this interest, but it's too even. Does that make sense? It just great for acrylics. I mean, look at that, it's sitting on there nicely, sticks well. See the marks if you want to see the marks, or not if you don't want to. And look at the yellow, you can barely see the brush marks at all. But on the red and the blue, on the yellow, but on the red and blue, where I put a couple of heavier brush marks and you can see that, so you get a little bit of texture that way, but not really suitable for the, I mean, even it's just too uniform, you know? You're not going to get as much interest in it. Even with the super smooth stuff, you still get those variations in tone that you only get with watercolour on paper. So you can see where I've layered it while I was trying to do the brush marks and what have you, and you've got these beautiful plumes of colour here. And even where it's gone a bit muddy, you can see its journey from the blue along and into the red and into the orange and what have you. Obviously with the watercolours, it's going to with the acrylics, it's going to be more flat unless you use them like watercolour, which you can do. And then with the pens, you've got these interesting, then with these odd little boxes where I've added the extra water, so you've got the pen, you can see that there are pen marks on the outside, and then I've got this sploosh of water, which makes them a bit more, adds a bit of interest. So yeah, and same with that one as well, with the other watercolour paper. And that one's got a bit more texture, so it goes a bit more watercolour-y. You can't see as much that it is actually pen first. So yeah, so the Wove canvas pad does exactly what it says on the tin. Words are hard. And it just behaves like canvas. And you can use it for stuff, but whether or not you want to is up to you. Because these are the sort of effects you can get with it, so if that's the effect you want, then that's brilliant, and go for it. It's all about making it look the way you want it, after all. So when it comes down to it, I've given you my opinion, but you don't have to listen to it. And you don't even have to do what I say. You don't have to. But yeah, so that gives you an idea of those different kinds of papers, what they can do, what they can do but don't do very well, what they can't, what they're not very good for at all, and what have you. And you've even got a little bit of extra stuff with the canvas there. Right, I'm going to stop there.
And I really hope you've enjoyed these videos, because I've had loads of fun making them. And don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification button. I'll see you soon. Bye.